Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Drew.
And I'm Chris.
We're not experts on this subject,
Right.
but we wanted to get together and talk just a little bit
Yeah.
about what's going on and how to move forward to be really the fullness of God's kingdom
Right.
here on earth and show the love of Christ. Real dialogue in the social media world and in the world of headlines and soundbites. There is, as this movement and tension in our nation has increased, there has been more and more headlines and soundbites that give reason to the way and why things are happening. So it's because of fatherless homes. It's not because of systemic racism. It's because of the prison system. It's not because of that. It's because now all these voices are rising up to, again, not dialogue, just to say, no, you're wrong, this is right.
Right.
What do we do with all this? What do we do with opposing views that's identifying an issue which dismisses us from this other issue, and then this issue comes up? I mean, as I'm trying to gain knowledge, I've been reading books, I've been listening to dialogues, and to your point, I think real dialogue is needed, and we don't have that. And unfortunately, our society is looking for sound bites and headlines, and because of that, it's this issue, it's this issue, it's this. Quit saying it's this. What do you see we need to know and do, and how do we move?
Yeah, man. I'll start by saying this, that we're so easily distracted. Like, we could be moving towards something, and then all of a sudden, boom, we'll move to the left, we'll move to the right. We get distracted over the small stuff that we fail to reach the core issue. And it got to the point where at first I thought it was just human nature. Sometimes I feel like that's by design, like, because it's just so obvious. Like, we could be so focused at one moment, and all of a sudden someone gets offended by something over here, and this takes our attention off of the real issue, and it's the one of the most frustrating things, and nothing gets done. We spread ourselves all over the place, and absolutely nothing gets done. I think when I think about Martin Luther King, one of the best things about him, aside from the fact that he was a great orator, I mean, shoot, the way the man preached, make you cry, the I Have a Dream speech wasn't even his best speech, The man could preach, right? But he could lead. And there was a focus. There was an agenda. And he was able to get people together to do the thing. With all that we have, all the access that we have. Do you remember the day when we needed information, we had to go to the encyclopedia?
Yeah.
Now we got access to everything, and sometimes you don't even know what's true anymore.
Yeah.
And so the access is a good thing, but now we're so spread out, and we got this and we got that, and we got this group, and it's hard to really focus on what the main thing is.
Yeah.
So the question is, what is the main thing? I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think the main thing is? You've been asking all these questions. Yeah. I'm curious, and then maybe I'll give my opinion.
I think this is the easy answer, which is the difficult answer, which is it's a heart issue with people, and until we see each other, what you said in the sermon together is until we see it as an us issue.
Yeah.
And start listening. I think actually the biggest issue is we don't listen.
But that's going to be hard then. I mean, because how do you get people to listen?
Because it's beyond just, no, I heard it. Because to what you just said, let's just take what we're going through. it's an issue with the police officers, and the other argument is it's not a police officer issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a family issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fatherless home issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I've seen is, to what you just said, is instead of saying, well, let's see what we can fix here, and let's see what we can fix here, now it's gone to here,
Mm-hmm.
where all our time is spent arguing about what the issue is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
Because is there some police reform needed? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there some help in the home that needs to happen? Yeah. But as long as we're like, no, it's this, no, it's that, no, it's that, no, it's this, no, it's this,
mm-hmm.
then we're never really dealing with the issue.
Yeah.
We're just dealing with the argument.
Right.
And this is where I think so much of it gets drawn up to, is like, we're not working to a solution. We're working to prove their problem wrong.
Right.
And so I think our society as a whole, and this doesn't even answer the heart of the question of what's the solution, because I don't know, but to get to trying to figure out what we don't know, we have to first listen. And sadly, and this is why we're having this conversation, is we don't know how to have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to say, your position is wrong, and I'm going to build up my case and never listen to you,
Mm-hmm.
instead of saying, well, why do you think that? Where is there truth in what you have to say? Where is the tension? How can I hold that with you and for you and encourage us towards something?
Yeah.
Instead, it's just polarization, which has us arguing about the issue and never moving towards solution.
Yeah, I want to say this, that I do believe that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. That we can tackle multiple issues. Yeah. But we just gotta get beyond, like you said, the arguing about the issues. Yeah. To the work on the issues. Yeah. I also, while you were talking, I was just thinking about how, like, sometimes someone can say something that's true, but because of who they are, it'll discredit, or in your mind, you reject the truth because of where the truth came from. Mm-hmm. My father always taught me that wisdom cries out like a woman in the streets. It's in Proverbs. Cries out, and he taught me that it can come from anywhere. I get wisdom. My children say some wise things. I don't tell them that. I'm like, that's right. Yeah. My father, he had a story about how he was running. He was jumping the fence. And there was a drunkard. He was a wino on the corner. And he told him, son, stop jumping the fence like that. You keep doing that, you're going to hurt yourself. He said, oh, man, you just a drunk. You just a wino. And he kept jumping the fence. And he jumped one time, and that fence hit him. Almost took his life. Yeah. And he taught me, he said, look, he was telling me the truth. And just because he was a wino, I rejected it. See, we got to be careful that we discredit the truth. Wow. Because we don't like where it came from. That goes to the point of listening, right? Yeah. Active listening means cutting through the noise. I'm a musician. So I'm a musician. I play the keyboard. And I play by ear. And so when I listen, I listen differently than the way other people listen. Yeah. When I listen to music, now, and it started early on when I learned how to play, I listen to the different parts. I listen to what the drummer's doing. I listen to what the bass player's doing. I listen to what the keyboard is doing. I listen to what the singer's doing. I'm not just enjoying it. Like, sometimes it's my curse now. Because when I listen to it, I can't enjoy it like everybody else. I'm listening to accuracies in the runs, and I'm listening to the mix, and I'm listening to the flow of it, and then I'm going back into, okay, what chord progression and all that stuff. I'm actively listening, and that's how I learn. Mm-hmm. I cut through all that emotion, all that noise. I'm actually going to, okay, what is they doing? What are they doing? That's where we got to get to, where we're actively listening. And yes, it may come from a news source that you don't like, or it may come from a person that you don't like. It may even, all right, so let me slow down. It may come from a rapper that you don't like. It may come from an actor that you don't like. It may come from somebody who's not even on camera. It may come from your neighbor. And you have to be actively listening.
Yeah.
Because now let's get spiritual. You know that God knows how to speak through many different mediums. Sometimes we like to put him in a box, but he's so creative that he can speak to us any kind of way.
Yeah.
And so even as a Christian, we need to be actively saying, okay, God, what are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Well, that's the way we need to be, this way. And I think if we get into the practice of that, just like I got to the practice of listening, I can't go back to the way I used to hear before. And so when you get into that practice, it becomes more natural now. But it's going to have to be intentional.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be intentional. And hopefully enough people, I'm not sure if a video is going to, but maybe it'll persuade some of you to even right now just take a moment to evaluate again and to say, okay, what have I been shutting off that God is speaking, trying to use to speak to me?
Yeah.
Even in this area, in this subject that we're talking about race.